I sat behind Knoxville at Luckiest Man in America. I also sat right across from Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin at the Last Showgirl, and not too far from Jamie Lee Curtis or Pamela Anderson either. It was I felt like one of the stars for a minute there in the orchestra of Princess of Wales. Last Showgirl, I think, was one of the most hyped movies that played at Toronto. It had its world premiere. It's the new film from Gia Coppola, whose grandfather also had a film at the festival. Gia's film is about a seasoned showgirl who's planning for her future after the show she's been in for 30 years is set to close. The aging showgirl is played by Pamela Anderson, not a name that we're used to seeing in prestige films, but the kind of actor who... Borat's own, Baywatch's own Pamela Anderson. An actor whose career does lend itself to this kind of part.
For sure.
She feels, in a lot of ways, it feels like her entire career has really informed this kind of role. And I found the result to be pretty interesting. You know, excuse me. It feels in a way like one of these wrestler type of movies. Like, I feel like we're going to do this for every type of entertainer whose body is a commodity. But I think where it mostly excels is in the specificity of its vision of Las Vegas. You know, they're not just sort of like archetypes. They're very specific characters within the milieu of Las Vegas entertainers, whether that's Pamela Anderson's showgirl. She has a friend played by Jamie Lee Curtis who's kind of a bit more loudmouthed and has found herself in increasingly odd and tough jobs. There's sort of the younger generation played by Kiernan Shipka and Brendan Song, who don't have the same kind of like starry-eyed admiration for the good old days of the showgirl entertainment. To me, one of the real standouts was Dave Bautista, who's playing a really slimmed down character. He is the like stage manager of the production, and it really leans into that like soft-spoken sweetheartness that he does bring to some parts. It's really the acting here that I think stands out more than the story itself. It is really underwritten, and it kind of doesn't really go anyplace. It just sort of finds a mode and stays there. But I still enjoyed this one. Amanda, were you also a bit mixed on this, or did you miss it?
I didn't catch it. I missed it. Basically, you guys started giving it the middling reviews, so I was going to see, I think, Harbin instead, and then I missed that too.
How's Brenda Song?
Nice. Really good. And I feel like it's interesting the career she's carved out for herself in these like occasional appearances in prestige movies, but she just sort of is a bit no nonsense, and Pam Anderson's character has these really wistful recollections of a time when showgirls were treated more luxuriously, and she just her character just doesn't really have the patience for it, but she still does have this like emotional bond with Pam Anderson's character. I thought she was really effective in it.
Nice. I had heard an interview with her, and she said that she was very excited to be in something like this. And I mean, she's had parts like in Social Network and stuff, so sounds good.
Yeah, I found it funny though. Just I was so struck by Macaulay Culkin amongst all of them, just sitting in the audience watching her.
That's right. Married.
Yeah.
Married.
Yeah. They got the baby. All right,
Love
sounds
it.
good. And Pamela Anderson also has that. They're reevaluating. I think it's for Hulu, Baywatch. So with that having its resurgence of looking back at it, that doc from earlier, I think maybe this year, right?
Yeah.
Or last year, and then this.
I think we watched that when we were in Sundance.
Yep. So sounds good.